We got a question. Someone says they're good at kesugatame, headlock-ish style, side control. They're white belt. They say they're getting on white belts. They're getting even on a few higher belts. Should they keep investing in it? Should they make it their thing or not?
So my philosophy always has been, if you plan to compete in pinning sports, wrestling, judo, sambo, then by all means, work on kesugatame, because in those sports, kesugatame wins you the match by holding somebody down, right? In jiu-jitsu, kesugatame is not the best pinning position because we have a limited number of submissions from there, and it's not the easiest position to exit. So it's very likely you make a mistake and your back gets taken against a skillful opponent. So on the lower belt levels, when the back take mechanics are not there, the skip mechanics are not there, yeah, you can dominate somebody by holding their head. Also, a lot of white belts and blue belts, they didn't come from a pinning sports background, they don't like fighting against you pulling on their head. So if you make kesugatame your thing, is that you need to realize a lot of people in the gym are going to be like, yeah, I don't like training with that guy. He just keeps holding onto my head.
He just lays there and cranks my neck, and I feel like stiff in the morning.
Yeah, and then the other thing too is are you good at kesugatame because you are this really big dude, and then all your training partners are 180 pounds and you're 280, so you're just big boying them? Mm-hmm. So might not be the best long-term plan for your jiu-jitsu development. Work on other more jiu-jitsu friendly pins and be able to transition and work in your transitions and developing your submissions from those transitions, instead of this hey, I'm gonna grab your head and you're gonna hate life and eventually I'm gonna get you something.
Yeah, that's pretty much my take on it too. Sometimes there'll be a guy who's just super good at it, especially if they came from another sport. Like you've trained somebody who did judo for a long time, you can be like, wow, this position is so good. Well, they put a lot of time into it. But it has that problem in jiu-jitsu of it kind of dead ends itself. Once you're there, sometimes it is the correct thing to do. There's certain situations where you have nothing but to do it and then do it. But then if it's not going right, or they're getting out, or they're getting free, you are really exposing your back. You only have a limited number of submissions, and they're not the highest percentage ones. There's that funny cranky armbar thing, and maybe switching to an arm triangle sometimes. Or you can if you can learn to do the Josh Barnett
big boy choke.
Yeah, I know there's a technique to it, but I have never found how to make my body make that technique work. So it's limited. I would limit how much you spend on it. You can spend some time on it, but there's a lot more things to learn that will build out a big full game versus just going really narrow on one thing that eventually your academy will learn that's your thing, and then it's kind of shut off from you, unless you just are that guy. But I don't think anyone likes to be known as that guy.